The discipline you practice is slowly killing you, not because you don't strive, but because you have turned self-improvement into self-destruction. Every morning is a war. Every decision is a negotiation. Every action requires you to defeat a part of yourself that refuses to obey. Today you will discover the Triaxial Method, the ancestral fusion that transforms discipline from battle into natural breathing.
If you watch until the end, you will understand why Miyamoto Musashi, after winning 60 deadly duels, retreated to a cave, not to rest from discipline, but because he finally realized that true discipline is not something you do, it is something you become.
Shinichi woke up every day at 5 a.m. He worked out, he meditated, he worked focused. For 3 days, he felt invincible. On the 4th day, something broke. A distraction, a difficult day, and the entire castle, built with pure willpower, crumbled in minutes. He carried 23 abandoned routines, 23 broken promises to himself, and each one was an invisible scar that screamed, "You are unreliable." Shinichi did not know it, but he was making the mistake that destroys 90% of the men who seek discipline. He was trying to transform through revolution, when the only real transformation happens through microscopic erosion. Until the day he discovered Musashi's 1,000 days. Modern man wakes up on a Monday and declares war on himself. New diet, new workout, new routine. 3 days later, he collapses, and he concludes, "I lack discipline." But the error is not a lack of strength. It is an excess of misplaced ambition. The brain does not recognize revolutions, it recognizes invasions. And when you try to become another person overnight, the nervous system interprets it as an existential threat. The result? Maximum resistance, unconscious sabotage, inevitable collapse. You don't fail because you are weak. You fail because you are using the wrong method from the start.
The samurai had a principle, Tanren, forging the soul through the sacred repetition of the mundane. Not great heroic transformations, but 1,000 days of conscious heating, hammering, and cooling. The Triaxial Method is the modern application of this ancestral principle, the fusion of mind, body, and spirit through actions so small the ego cannot resist, but significant enough for the brain to reorganize identity. When the 3 axes align, something transcendent emerges. You stop fighting to be disciplined and simply are.
Pillar 1. The illusion of grand transformation. Concept. You think you need dramatic change, but every dramatic change carries an expiration date, collapse. Philosophical explanation. In post-war Japan, ordinary workers rebuilt an entire nation through Kaizen, 1% improvements per day. Not heroes, not geniuses. Men who understood that greatness is not explosion, it is conscious erosion of the ego by sacred repetition. Kaizen literally means change for the better. But the Japanese better is not business optimization. It is alignment with the natural flow. A factory worker in Tokyo improves the angle of a tool by ½ a degree per day, not for efficiency, for devotion to the act itself. Practical application. Identify one action in your routine, not 10, 1. Improve it by 1% per day for 100 days. Example, meditation. Day 1, 1 minute. Day 100, 1 minute and 36 seconds. 1% compound. Does it seem ridiculous? Exactly.
because too ridiculous to fail is the only strategy the brain accepts without resistance. Mini challenge. Choose your action today. Start tomorrow. 1%, nothing more. Pillar 2. The ego that demands greatness. Concept. You say you want discipline, but what you really want is to be admired for having it. Philosophical explanation. Hayao Kawai, a Japanese Jungian psychologist, identified this pattern. The Western mind confuses transformation with performance. Shinichi posted his 5 a.m. routine on social media. He received likes, he felt validated. But when no one saw, the routine collapsed. Because it was not discipline, it was theater. The ego does not seek change, it seeks an audience. And when the audience disappears, motivation evaporates. Kawai spent decades studying the ma, the empty space between things. In calligraphy, it is the white space that gives meaning to the strokes. In the psyche, it is the period where nothing seems to happen, and that is exactly where 90% of people quit. Practical application. For 30 days, do something so small that it is not worth telling anyone about. Don't post, don't log, don't celebrate. Example, making the bed perfectly. 2 minutes. No one sees, no one applauds. The ego will hate it. It will scream that it is a waste of time. But you are training action without external reward. This is the first step of muga, absence of the separate ego. Mini challenge. Choose your invisible action. Practice it in total silence for 30 days.
Pillar 3. The brain reconstructs itself. Concept. Discipline is not willpower, it is neural reorganization. Philosophical explanation. Dr. Lisa Miller, a Columbia neuroscientist, discovered something unsettling. The brain does not distinguish between a spontaneous mystical experience and repetitive disciplined practice. Both activate the same neural circuits. When monks had meditated for 20 years, 3 brain regions synchronize. Parietal cortex reduces activity, dissolves the boundary between self and world. Medial prefrontal cortex activates, connects action to a greater purpose. Limbic system regulates itself, generates calm alertness, not performance anxiety. Miller found that athletes in a deep flow state show the same pattern. Shinichi did not need sudden enlightenment. He needed devoted repetition until the brain reorganized identity. Practical application. Neuroplasticity studies show a habit begins to automate between 18 and 254 days, with an average of 66 days. But there is a critical window, days 40 to 80, where the brain is rebuilding neural pathways, but the ego feels no progress. It is the neural ma. Shinichi almost quit on day 53. He did not know his prefrontal cortex was transferring command to the basal ganglia, the autopilot system. On day 67, something clicked. He did not decide to work out. He simply worked out. Mini challenge. Commit to a minimum of 66 days. Mark it on the calendar. Cross the ma without quitting. Pillar 4. Musashi and the Ritual of 1,000 Cuts. Concept. Conscious repetition does not train technique. It forges the soul. Philosophical explanation. Musashi wrote about Tanren, the process of forging the sword through repeated heating, hammering, and cooling 1,000 times. The blade does not get sharper with one blow. It gets sharper through the repetition that reorganizes the molecular structure of the steel. Musashi applied this to life. Repeating the same cut 1,000 times is not training technique, it is forging the soul. Each repetition heats the ego through exposure, hammers resistance through conscious discomfort, cools anxiety through acceptance of the process. On the 1,000th cut, it is no longer the samurai who cuts. It is the cut that manifests through a body that has learned not to interfere. Practical application. Choose a simple physical action, push-ups, calligraphy, cutting vegetables. Do exactly 10 repetitions, not 9, not 11, 10. During each one, breathe consciously. Inhale on preparation, exhale on action. Do this at the same time 365 days. Do not increase difficulty for the first 200 days. Same quantity, same time, same breath. What you are forging is not muscular strength, it is ontological trust, the deep certainty that you do what you say you will do. Mini challenge. Choose your action. 10 repetitions, 1 year, no exceptions.
Pillar 5, the Unified Triaxial Method. Concept: mind, body, spirit are not three things. They are one indivisible flow. Philosophical explanation. You train the body at the gym. Meditate for the mind. Pray for the spirit. 3 separate actions, 3 different versions of you. And deep down, a silent exhaustion. Which version is the true one? Shinichi did this. He woke up as meditator Shinichi, went to work as productive Shinichi, came home as fitness Shinichi. The result? Fragmented identity, dispersed energy. The Triaxial Method proposes the radical opposite. One action that unifies the 3 axes simultaneously. Practical application. Mental axis. Intention without resistance. Before the action, 3 conscious breaths. Internal question: am I doing this for ego or for alignment? If ego, pause and reconnect. If alignment, proceed. Physical axis. Action without hesitation. Execute immediately after the intention. No pause. The body has a 3-second window of pure action before the ego interferes. When the intention arises, act before the ego creates a narrative of resistance. Spiritual axis. Presence that dissolves the observer. During the action, there is no you doing something. There is only the doing. Choose a focal point during the practice. Breath, sound, sensation. Whenever you notice a thought arising, return to the focal point, 1,000 times if necessary. Mini challenge. Integrate the 3 axes into one action today. Feel the difference.
On day 247, something happened to Shinichi. He woke up, sat down to meditate, started the push-ups, and for 40 seconds, there was no Shinichi. There was only movement, breath, gratitude, without a separate observer. For the first time, he understood what the masters always knew. You were never the doer. You were always the flow. When a tea ceremony master was asked about his routine, he replied, "I don't have a routine. I just make the tea." It was not false modesty. It was muga, the state where there is no observer doing something. There is only the doing. Musashi described this in The Duel. When the sword and I become one, there is no longer a choice. The sword has already moved before the thought. Shinichi had his glimpse, and he realized true discipline is not you controlling actions, it is you disappearing until only pure action remains manifesting. The man who trains 1,000 days does not comprehend mastery, but the one who trains 10,000 transcends the very need to train. Shinichi, on day 1,000, was no longer someone who had discipline. He was someone whose essence was manifested discipline. He did not wake up to meditate. He woke up as meditation. The action ceased to be something he did and became something he was. The truth that destroys all judgment. Discipline was never something you lacked. It was just that your energy was aligned with actions that did not express your essence. You were disciplined in procrastinating, in sabotaging yourself, in avoiding. Discipline was always there. It was just directed at keeping the old you alive. The Triaxial Method does not create discipline. It redirects the discipline that already exists from ego preservation to the expression of essence. Incorporated Kaizen is not perpetually improving. It is dissolving the difference between you and the process of improvement. Like this video, not for the algorithm, but as a promise to begin your 1,000 days. Comment which single action you chose, just one, because when you declare publicly, the brain registers it as a deeper commitment. And subscribe, because every video here is a layer of the same path that Musashi mapped, from effort to flow, from resistance to transcendence, from the warrior who struggles to the warrior who simply is. Musashi, 1 week before his death, wrote the Dokukdo, the path of walking alone. 21 precepts. One of them, do not seek pleasure for its own sake. It is not asceticism, it is freedom. When action does not depend on feeling pleasure, you are free. After 1,000 days, you will not be someone who has discipline. You will be the mountain, presence that does not need to announce itself, strength that does not need to prove itself, consistency that does not need validation. People will ask, how are you so disciplined? And you, honestly, will not know how to answer, because there is no longer a disciplined self. There is only life flowing through a body that has learned not to interfere. This is not conquest, it is transcendence. And transcendence, Shinichi finally understood, was always the only real goal.